I started using DeltaMath a couple years ago, and the reason why I love DeltaMath, I wanted something that's kind of like vocab.com, where I would have students that would come into class, and if we finished our lesson a little early, there were like 10 minutes left in class. Students, without even saying anything, would just get out their iPad, get on to vocab.com, and then click away. And I wanted something like that for my students, but for math. And DeltaMath is very similar to that, where it's easy to get logged in, and then the interface for doing the math problems is very, very intuitive and pretty easy to get to catch on to real quick. So how I incorporate it in my math class is I'm going to show you how to create an account in just a minute, but the information on the screen that you can see is DeltaMath assignments are assigned at the start of each new module. They are not due until we have our module assessment. So that's like the test or the quiz or whatever it is, okay? So you usually have about a week and a half to 2 weeks, depending on the length of the module, all right? Assignments are meant to be, you know, pretty large so that you can't just finish them in one day. What they're designed to be is, if, for example, you finish your math assignment early and you have some free time and you feel like you want some extra math practice, just log into DeltaMath, do some problems, and that's what it's meant for. So even though some days I might not assign you new assignments, you always will have math content that you can work on, okay? And that's very important because I don't always assign new assignments. That's just that there's not enough stuff for me to assign. So DeltaMath kind of fills in those gaps. Now, your motivation for completing DeltaMath assignments is that the DeltaMath assignments will be translated to extra credit points towards your assessments and projects part of your grade. Now, I'm going to get more into the weighting of your Power School grades on Thursday, but the gist of it is, if we were under normal circumstances and you took a test in my class and you got, say, a 70%, that's a C minus, which is okay. We would want to do a little better. But if you did your DeltaMath assignment for that module and you did it completely, so that means your DeltaMath score for that assignment was 100%, that 100% would be converted to extra credit points out of 10. So 100% out of 10 is 10. So you would add 10 points to your test score, which means your 70% becomes 80%, which means your C minus has become a B minus. So it could potentially raise your test score a full letter grade. That is a lot of points. And that's motivation enough for me to allow you this opportunity, because I do want you to get the extra practice. The DeltaMath assignments I will assign are very helpful in kind of supporting your math skills during the module, okay? And I gave another example. So say during the week, you weren't able to complete the DeltaMath assignment completely, you finished 88% though, okay? You just convert that 88%, move the decimal place over one place, and you would get 8.8 extra credit points, meaning your 70% would be a 78.8%, which is still a C plus, but the point is it helps your grade. It will not ever count against your score, okay? So that's the brilliance of this assignment is, if you do 0% of the DeltaMath assignment, that just means you get 0 extra credit points. So your grade on your test is not going to change. It's not going to improve. I mean, why wouldn't you want to improve your grade? But the important thing is it's not going to hurt your grade. It won't lower it. So that's the important thing you want to remember for DeltaMath, okay? I did see a hand raised. So before I show you guys how to create your DeltaMath account, whose hand was raised? Did you put your hand down? Who was that? I don't see a hand raised anymore. So whoever had their hand raised, if you have a question, just go ahead and either put it in the chat or raise your hand again. All right. So I'm going to walk you through a plethora of steps for creating your DeltaMath account. So the first thing you want to do, this is the slide that I mentioned before. These are the 6 steps that you will want to follow for creating a DeltaMath account. Don't try to copy this all down. As I mentioned at 3 o'clock, this slide will be posted to Google Classroom so that you can follow these steps for creating your account. Okay, so I'm going to stop screen sharing, and I'm going to go through the steps to show you how to create your DeltaMath account. Okay, so I'm going to stop screen sharing this, and I'm going to re-screen share my iPad. Okay, so once again, I did create this this account this morning for the express purposes that you, from the student perspective, can see what it should look like to log in. Okay, so step number one, you want to open up your web browser of choice. Step number two, type in DeltaMath.com. It already shows up my top hit because I've logged in a couple of times a day already. This is the DeltaMath sign-in page. Now, every single one of you are going to follow these steps. Now, you see here, this is the sign-in page, but you're not signing in because you don't have an account. You are creating an account. So in the top right-hand corner, you can locate the Create Account button. You're going to click on that, and you are going to select, since you are creating a student account, student. Okay? Now, this is where the slide comes in handy, because you need my teacher code. So I have a DeltaMath account as a teacher. You need my teacher code to be connected to my DeltaMath class. My teacher code is 145191. If you didn't write it down, don't worry about it. Like I said, it's going to be on the slide that posts at 3 o'clock. Now, if you entered in the correct teacher code, you'll see my name appear under that teacher code. If it says Mr. Morita, you did it right. If it says someone else's name, you entered the wrong code. So double check your code, okay? The first thing you want to do once you've correctly entered in my class code is select your class period. So each class period is titled 2021, that's for the school year, and you guys are going to be period 7, math 7. So you would join that period. All right, first name. Now, I already actually created an account with my dummy email. So I'm not going to go through all the steps, but just enter your first name and your last name. If you want to enter in like your preferred name, like I recorded from your Google Classroom assignments last week, that's fine. So for example, Thomas Acosta goes by Robert, that's fine. So you can put in Robert Acosta, that's perfectly fine, okay? But make sure your names are close enough matched to the names on my roster. Otherwise, I won't recognize your name, and I'll probably kick you out of my DeltaMath class. Okay, here's where it gets a little bit tricky, but not too tricky. Under email, enter in your school email. So your whatever at myfsd.org, that's the email you want to use. A student from an earlier class came in and asked me some questions because she was having trouble logging in. She forgot this very important step. So once you enter in your school email, for example, if I use my MyFSD email, you need to verify it, which means just copy it the same in the next, in the verify box. She was getting a notification saying your account is not verified because she was not filling in the verify box. Now, for your password, you can choose any password you want. However, I highly recommend that you use your Google password for this account. This is a school-related website account, so use your FSD Google password so that it kind of all just stays the same. Okay, you're using that password for all of your academic websites. Don't use a personal password that you use for like Club Penguin, because you might get mixed up and enter in the wrong password and then you'll be lost, okay? So just use your Google password for this password. And once again, don't forget, you need to verify that password as well. So repeat that Google password in the verify box, then you will press create account. Now I'm not gonna press that because it's gonna tell me there's already an account under that email. So instead, I'm gonna log in using my fake account and my Face ID. And this is going to be your DeltaMath homepage. Now take note that it says you do not have any active teachers in the current term. What that really means is I have not created any active assignments for you yet. But by the time we start module 1, there will be the first assignment up on this page, so it'll look a lot different. Now, when that first assignment is available, don't worry, because I will walk you through the interface and how to use it during one of these Zoom meetings. So you don't have to worry about figuring it out on your own, because I will take time to show you how to use it. Once you get the hang of it, though, it's pretty intuitive. It's pretty easy to get used to. So I think you guys will pick up on it pretty quickly.